Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege is the best game I've ever played. Doesn't really sound controversial, but it kind of is. You see, people seem to really hate this game for no reason. Like, sure, it has its problems, right? It has cheaters. It has a pretty toxic community, but that's a lot of games. Like, cheaters less so, but toxic, that's everywhere. Cheaters, yeah, it's an issue, but I don't believe it's as big. Like, it's not every match, okay? I don't believe people who say that it is. My point being that I really like this game, and I feel like I need to explain why, because everyone seems to miss the point of the game. I feel like I am the target audience for this game, and everyone seems to just rag on it all the time. Like, if I go on, the other day I saw a post, can't find it now, but I saw a post that said that the internet would be a better place if this game never existed. Like, whoa, that's a bit far. Okay, that's a bit far. Whether you really don't like the game or do like it, that's a bit much. So decide, you know what? I'm going to explain where I come from, why I like this game, and that it's not the devil or something like some people seem to think it is. When I was young, I played a lot of World of Tanks. I'll try to make this quick because this isn't exactly the focus of the video, but it's important to know where I came from and why I like Siege. See, in World of Tanks, first of all, quickly out of the way, there was an RNG system for shooting. Like, you could be right on target with your scopes, but it wouldn't hit them because Wargaming says no. So, yeah, for anyone that's played with me, my aim sucks. That's where it comes from. I am working on that. I know it holds me back. But anyway, the point of the game, the real skill in that game came from where you played and like how you used your vehicle, right? Because if you have a heavy tank, you drive into the middle of the field, you're going to get absolutely obliterated because everyone and their dog is going to take shots at you, heavy armor or no. But if you go into the town, say, and you learn side scraping, you will absolutely dominate in that setting. So that's what I'm used to, okay? I'm used to playing your cards right and going where you need to go instead of just throwing yourselves like you would in Call of Duty, right? ADHD simulator type stuff. You just run a gun. Oh my goodness, there's gunfire over there, and you just aimlessly throw yourselves in that direction because that's what brain says. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I think Siege is my first real shooter because of the fact that I've been able to get invested in the fact that there's more to it than just running around. I did play a little bit of Battlefield 1 before that, but I like the campaign for Battlefield 1, but the multiplayer sucked, in my opinion. I know a lot of people love it, but I don't, because same thing. You go to the objective, you shoot people, you get shot in the back because your three teammates are blind, and you rinse and repeat. That's a lot of shooters, not Siege. So let's fast forward to my grade 11, school year. And I'm in my welding class near the end of the semester, and these people are talking about this game. I find it kind of interesting. So I ask them, what are you guys talking about? Talking about Siege. So I inquire a bit further because, well, it did sound interesting. Now, all I knew about the game up until this point was that this one fella had a turret. And this is year 6, season 4 of the game. I get the game, and ironically enough, Tachanka had lost his turret, meaning I actually didn't know anything about the game. And I'm playing it. I'm getting absolutely slammed. It's casual. I'm getting absolutely worked. But something is different about this game than it would be with like Call of Duty or something. See, in Call of Duty, you shoot people, and your death, let's say, is you get quick scoped for the 8th time in a row by some guy that his name is a barcode, right? It's the combination of capital I, L, and stuff like that, right? And that's the gameplay loop when you're new. You just get slammed. But in Siege, it was a bit different, right? I would die to things that I didn't know I could die to. So each death was kind of interesting, right? So I would get meleeed by a shield. I would get a grenade thrown at the floor, like from under, like the dude would throw a grenade at the ceiling. I'd be on the floor above. I'd blow up, right? Stuff like that. Like each death was something that I didn't know I could die to, meaning that it was all interesting, and it was my fault because I didn't know. But as you learn more about the game, you learn about these different ways to die, and like it changes things. Like what it's different when you're playing Call of Duty or something and you die because it's not your fault, right? Because that dude hasn't touched grass in 8 years. He buys the new Call of Duty every year that they make one. Like that's what you're going up against. It's just not fun. But with Siege, when you die, it's your fault because you didn't know that you could. But then you learn, and then you don't die to it anymore. It's like there's more to it. I mean, already you can kind of see where I'm coming from because of how big positioning is in both World of Tanks, where I grew up, and in Siege, where I am now. You know, like if you hold rafters on Clubhouse, that's really, really important to be holding CC and Cash Room, right? Like you can see a lot there. Just like from World of Tanks, if you hold the Hail on Mines, you can see across the entire map, right? So I think that is one of the biggest aspects. But another aspect is just how different both attacking and defense are, and you use both within a single match, right? Like, I can best break this down as the difference between what makes a good attacker and what makes a good defender, okay? So a good defender, we'll put Fenrir, right? He hasn't been nerfed just yet. So we'll look at him in his current state. A good defender skews the match as much as they can. So you have 45 seconds prep phase to skew the match as much as you possibly can. So in Fenrir's case, he has his Bailiff to make sight lines and such, and then he has his FNAT that will blind you. You go in, you get blinded, you can't see. What are you supposed to do? Like you have to take Twitch and Zero and such to, you know, get all the FNATs beforehand. You can't just brute force it. He skews it so much that an entire type of, you know, playing, which is just brute forcing stuff, you can't do. You have to try and counter him. That's pretty big. Solus is another thing. The drones are one of the attacker's best tools. So if you take away their ability to drone, you know, like that's their entire tool gone from one operator decides that. Like that's a bit strong, don't you think? But let's take a look at a good attacker. We'll say Ashe. A good attacker can counter a lot of things. Like the more versatile the attacker is, the better they are. So for Ashe, her rocket, it's just like, you don't like something, you shoot it with a rocket, it's gone now. Is there a Mira? Ashe counters Mira now. Is there a castle? Guess what? Ashe can counter it. Like the op is so versatile that you can use them in any situation. That is what truly makes a good attacker. But that's not what makes a good defender. Like Rook. You can use Rook any map, any site, but he's not that good because 20 health doesn't really mean much. And self-revive, you don't even get that all the time because a lot of the time you just get immediately executed by the person that downed you before you can pick yourself up. Right? Like, what makes a good attacker and what makes a good defender are just so different in this game. And that makes everything so much more interesting to think about. So that is more or less what I have to say about why I really like Siege. Now, you may have been able to guess, but this video is unscripted. There's a couple reasons for that. First reason being that I wanted it to feel a bit more natural, right? It's like I'm actually speaking to you, kind of. Probably didn't feel that way, but oh well. Another part is that I don't have time because my next video I kind of bit off more than I can chew, right? I'm trying to redesign a map in Siege. Yeah, you can't do that in 2 weeks, which is the deadline I set for myself. So yeah, you're gonna have to deal with this video for now. And next time, I hope to give you like a much better video. But for now, you can use this to kind of see why I really like Siege. But anyway, see ya.